Anonymous is on the phone. Anonymous is 39, dating a guy who lives with his baby's mother. Oh, Anonymous.
Hello?
Yeah, how long has this been going on?
No. He put her out.
When?
He put her out in August. He and I met at the grocery store in March. It was a situation where she was getting kicked out of her apartment. He let her move in because she was getting evicted.
Okay, so at the time you met him, she was in the transition stage.
Well, kind of, sort of, yes. He had realized he didn't want to be with her anymore. She doesn't want to work, collecting unemployment, not looking for a job. 39 now with no insurance, no job, and is pregnant by him again. She got pregnant like a month before he and I got serious. We got still living there.
Okay, Anonymous, he's not yours. He might not be hers, but he is definitely not yours, and you're better than this. Like, she's still pregnant, so they're still having raw dog sex. Don't believe what he...
But he gave her notice. She moved out, 30 days later. She now lives with her mother, and, he's with me now.
Yeah.
But I don't...
Yeah. When is her baby due?
In February, March.
Yeah. Lots of men choose to cheat wildly when their women are pregnant. And living with the baby's mother certainly gives him a chance to go over there, get a home-cooked meal, some nice conversation, play the role like he's with her, and have sex when he wants. And from all accounts, you'd be stupid if you stayed with him, and you're 39 years old, and you really needed to have understood that to begin with. You only needed me, perhaps, to co-sign on your original thoughts, right?
You're absolutely right. However, he has been nothing but honest with me from the very beginning. Like I said, we were just friends, so he had, so he was always extremely honest with me, and we just kind of fell into our relationship. Wasn't even supposed to happen.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Well, the next thing that's going to happen is you're going to look into his eyes too hard, and you're going to fall in love. Because
we're already in love.
Say, okay. There is no future for you and him. You're 39 years old. You have no kids?
No. I'm an ex. I'm divorced. I was with him for 17 years. I have 2 kids. My son is 17, and my daughter's 13. I've been divorced for 5 years now.
So ultimately speaking, what do you want out of this baby's father?
Well, he's not my baby's father.
No, but what do you want out of him? You said you're in love. Where is this going?
We're talking about spending the rest of our lives together again. He wants to marry me.
Okay, then you need to fall back from him for at least a year and a half. Let her have that baby and let him settle into the flow of paying his dual child support and let him sort out his feelings with her. It's not fair to you.
Okay, but here's the thing. I tried, but I can't pull away. I tried to pull away, but I just keep going back. What am I? How do I stay away from him, Wendy?
Well, nothing helps you get over the X-Man like the next man. Are you cute?
Yeah, I think so. Mm-hmm. People tell me that. Absolutely.
Well, it's Wednesday. Pick something out that's really cute and have yourself a good time on the weekend.
Where's Charlemagne? I miss him.
Yeah, no, they let Charlemagne go.
Shut your mouth. Why?
Why are you so worried about him? You're in love with a man who is not thinking about you.
Well, he loves me too, Wendy.
Okay. I don't like this, Anonymous.
No, and you're right. You're absolutely right. And I just needed a grown, sexy woman of my age to co-sign on it.
I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this.
Right.
Oh,
I feel like I'm intruding.
You are, and you'll never get his whole self. You'll throw yourself into him, and he's too busy sleeping with her and worrying about his infants.
But he's not sleeping with her anymore.
Whatever. He'll tell you anything until she drops that baby. Right about now, she's looking a bit gruesome for men who don't like pregnant sex. You know what I'm saying? She's about to have a baby in February. She's looking real gruesome now.
No, you're right. But if he really wanted to be with her, why did he put her out?
No, he is with her. He's with her and eating home-cooked meals at his mother's. He's got a whole other life. Anonymous, don't be stupid. Goodbye. To the telephones we go. Sasha is actually Sasha's actually being typed in right now. She's 24 years old, and she's calling from Harlem. Sasha?
Hello?
Hi, hon. So,
how you doing?
What's going on with your friend's boyfriend?
It's her husband. It's one of my coworkers.
Okay.
They go out a lot together, the clubs, the parties and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And lately, though, she's telling me that every time they go out, he tends to act up, act the fool. He drinks and he starts to act up, and I guess is embarrassing to her and stuff.
This is the husband of a coworker.
Yes.
Okay.
But she don't know whether she should continue to go out with him and deal with it or not. because she's scared to say, babe, I don't want to go out to the clubs with you anymore. She don't want to hurt his feelings. Like, he might start thinking she's trying to do something else.
Well, so coworkers are able to see this.
Excuse me?
It's coworkers who see this and bring it back to work, his behavior.
Yes.
Well, maybe she needs to first stop going out with coworkers. Coworkers aren't people who you're supposed to be partying with anyway on a regular basis.
Husband.
No. But you said that you are. Where did I get coworkers?
No, I'm her coworker. She's a coworker of mine.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I would need to talk to her, Sasha, not you. You're 24 and single. You know what I mean? I mean, there's a certain way married people talk.
She is listening, though.
Yeah, but you know what? If she really wants to talk, then she'd call up. I feel kind of funny talking to you, Sasha. I mean, I'm sure you're a great friend, but you're a 24-year-old girl.
I sound like a litlittle girl, you said?
No, you're a 24-year-old girl. Like, you're a girl burgeoning on womanhood. You're getting your grown woman on, but you don't have kids. You're not married.
No.
Like, why am I talking to you, single you?
I was just trying to help her out because she's kind of a little shy again.
Yeah, and you want to know what? And part of her problem is that she'd rather talk to you, a girl, than go to her husband. If she chose to take on woman role, like get married, and no doubt have kids, right? Then she needs to be woman enough to deal with her husband directly and stop talking to her girl friend.
So she shouldn't worry about hurting his feelings.
No, I don't think she should worry about talking to you about any of the above.
Okay.
I mean, you understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't think you need to be a part of it. And I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at her for wanting to be such an adult. This is part of the problem with, what is she, your age?
No, she's older than me.
That's even more pathetic. I mean, part of taking on the responsibility of getting married and then having children is that you were taking on the responsibility of being a woman, which is totally different than being a 24-year-old girl named Sasha with no kids and no husband. P.S. At 24, you're supposed to be with no kids and no husband.
Yeah.
So I'm not making fun of you. All I'm saying is that we as grown people married with kids and stuff, we're not supposed to be talking to girls about woman issues.
Understandable.
All right, so you tell her to get her grown woman on and stop talking to you about this.
All right,
and tell her, you're going to the club.
Okay.
And you're re-registering in graduate school.
That's right.
And you're getting your thing going on the weekends, and she needs to focus on the womanhood part of being a woman.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, and how you doing?
How you doing? Bye, Sasha. Dear Wendy, I have from my emails at Wendy, how you doing? HOWYOUDOIN at gmail.com. Wendy, how you doing at gmail.com. Wendy, I'm a 26-year-old woman from Florida. I've been married for 2.5 years, no kids. It's been 2 weeks, and we have not done it. I'm going crazy. What could be wrong? I tried to initiate last night, but he brushed me off like he was watching TV, and it was much more important than me. Well, a few months ago, we went to visit my husband's parents, and he ran into a friend from high school, and they exchanged phone numbers, and she has been texting him since then. To my knowledge, it's really nothing. Upcoming class reunions, events, etc. I was over it. Then about a month later, my father died of a heart attack, and he was with the other woman when he died. My father. Oh, wow. Okay. And we still don't know the specifics of his death, and I have been totally insecure since then about the other woman. I tried to explain this to my husband, but he doesn't get why I'm getting upset with him when he talks to her and does things out of the ordinary. Wendy, can you help or give suggestions? That's from Brandy in Florida. Well, Brandy, the only way you're going to get to the bottom of a reasonable lie or a half-truth or maybe the full truth about your husband's relationship with this woman is by turning off the TV, sitting him down, and talking to him one-on-one and clearly making it about a serious conversation where you want to know. And you have to demand that he doesn't brush your feelings off. Certainly that your father died in the arms of the other woman and not your mother is fueling this. But you could also just be paranoid. But, you need to sit your man down and you need to talk to him and he needs to face forward. And if he laughs one time, you need to just throw a little bass in your voice and make him understand you're very serious about this. Who is this woman and what's the nature of the conversation? Like, what's really good? Did they date back in high school? I see you guys are only 26 years old, so it's less than 10 years since he was an everyday mate of this woman. So I understand your feelings. But then again, it might be nothing. It's all up to you. So I trust that you will have a grown married people's conversation after 2.5 years of marriage. You deserve it, Brandy. Dear Wendy, I'm 31 years old and married. I have 2 children. My husband and I have been together on and off for 10 years and married for a year and a half. My husband will not stop talking about having sex. Every time we speak, it either a discussion about last night's session or about tonight's session or both. Now, Wendy, I love sex, and sex life is magical, as he says, but this seems to be a bit much. Am I complaining for no reason? Well, theoretically, you're complaining for no reason, it seems to me. You've only been married for a year and a few months, all right? And you're 31 years old. You guys are still supposed to be in the newlywed phase where everything is still kind of idealistic, and that wouldn't be unusual for them to talk about sex so much. But the idea that you all already have 2 children and you've been together on and off for 10 years is highly unusual, very flattering, but I can understand where it is sometimes it probably gets a bit overwhelming, for a woman with 2 children who's been with the man for 10 years. And be flattered that he's still attracted to you that way. But you know what? He needs to learn how to experience new growth. And new growth involves the rest of the conversation. Like, does he only mention the sex or how fat your behind is, and then he talks about the kids in the parent-teacher conference? Or then he tells you, I just, came from, paying our property taxes or whatever, I need to know more. It sounds crazy, but then again, if he's incorporating it with other grown man conversation, be flattered. Most of all, be ready, because he's coming home in a few hours to put it on ya. Dear Wendy, I need your advice on what to do about my father. I live in New Jersey, and I go away to college. In college, I'm exposed to many different kinds of people, gay in particular. I know that my father is gay, but I do not know how